Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. This is Solium Infernum. This is a game that, it's a remake of the game that I've played way back in the day when it came out. Well, I say way back, it wasn't that long ago. I think it was, I want to say 2012, because it was after Armageddon Empires. And this, anyway, I'm not going to give you a history lesson. I will summarise. The original game was made by what I think was a genius game designer by the name of Vic Davis. Vic was just, he made some amazing games. You'll have seen me play Armageddon Empires on BATTLEMODE, and I think on this channel, Armageddon Empires is an absolute classic. It's like a 4X deck building card game, sort of almost like Shadow, like a kind of stripped down Shadow Empire game. It's absolutely amazing. I must play that game because it's wonderful. But Solium Infernum was more geared at multiplayer, whereas Armageddon Empires was a single player game. All of Vic Davis's games under his company called Cryptic Comet, they were all board games basically, and this is no exception. This is just, the reason why this game has been remade, I think, is because the original, you can't buy it anymore. The original game was made in Adobe Director, so it's got a bit of a clunky interface, and I think a lot of people would pass on it now because of the UI. I don't mind it. Even for me, the UI in the original is a little bit, you know, hard to use, I'd say, because it's just a lot of clicking. I don't remember if there's keyboard shortcuts, but anyway, it's still an amazing game. It really shines in multiplayer. But this game has been remade now, and kudos to the developers. They've done a pretty good job. There is some stuff I don't like about it, and I'm going to talk about that as I play. I'm not quite as thrilled about certain changes as some people. However, I don't know the game. I didn't play the original Solium Infernum well enough to really be able to comment too much on the gameplay changes. So I'm going to try to refrain from that a little bit. Like I said, this was mostly a multiplayer game, and I think it's going to shine in multiplayer. Okay, so let's just play. I did actually start a game as this character here, but I'm gonna. What we'll do is we'll go to a single match, okay? And I'll try to explain what's going on as we go. It's basically you are one of the royalty in hell. Basically, you're an archdemon or an archfiend, and you are trying to take over hell. That's basically what's going on in this game. It's a game where you're pitting your wits against your opponents, and there are many abilities that you have to play in the game in order to be able to take the prestige points that you need in order to win. It's basically a game about accumulating a score, essentially. But there's many ways to play it. It's really, really good. I'm going to put it on a small map, so it's going to be 4 to 5 players. It's going to be big enough, and I'm actually going to play it on a short game because I've got a rule at the moment that I won't play more than one big series at once, and this game is gonna, I reckon if I play this on a short game, it'll probably be over in about 3 episodes, I'd say, on the outside. I think it's going to be about 3 maybe hour-long episodes, so it's something that I can play alongside Shadow Empire, and it won't stop me from finishing that Shadow Empire game. So for those of you who are terrified at the idea of me starting a new series, don't worry, this is a short game. Well, it's a relatively short game played in single player. Okay, so here are these are the different arch fiends that you get to play, right? So we've got Astaroth here, we've got Lilith. This is okay. Here's what I don't like about this game. I really do not like this aesthetic. It's too cartoony. I keep expecting Wallace and Gromit to turn up, and it's just it kind of reminds me of an Aardman Animations thing. It's not terrible. They're not bad. Like, it's just too cartoony, and you'll see that, like, when you see the other stuff, look, like these other cards are really well done. So there's this real mismatch in the art styles that I don't like. But other than that, I mean, it's not terrible. I can live with this. It's not it's not a showstopper for me. That looks ridiculous. Look at Lilith. She looks awful. I hate it. Like, it's just really bad. You know, look, this, I don't know. It's just got made for the modern audience, written all over it. Anyway, so each character has 5 different statistics, and these will kind of help one aspect of the gameplay, essentially. So you've got Wrath, which is strength. Previously, I think this was called combat power or something like this. You've got deceit, you have prophecy, which you've got destruction, and you've got charisma. We'll talk about these as we go. But yeah, they're relatively self-explanatory. Destruction is kind of like the ability to use spells to damage people from afar, whereas Wrath is actually your combat power. This game does have combat in it, but it's not as big a part of the game as you might expect. You can actually win the game without doing a whole lot of combat. I think what we're going to do at the start of the game is I might play as the character I was playing when I was testing it, just so I know a little bit about what's going on. This is something new in this version. You've got this reliquary thing. So let's just go here. We're just going to strip her of her items. So you can see her basic stats. She's got 2 Wrath, so she's quite good in conflict. This is the Archfiend's ability to effectively wage war with legions. Then we've got Deceit. The Archfiend's ability to manipulate, exploit, and outright steal from their opponents. Unlocks Deceit rituals in the Masking Mirror. And then so she's got 1 there, and then she's got 1 in Charisma. The Archfiend's ability to seek alternative paths to victory unlocks Charisma rituals and prayer to dueling effects. So you've got these rituals that you can do, which will affect various, the other AI or other players. She starts out with the Enslaved of Erzsébet, which is her starting legion, and then this is her stronghold. So as you can see, it's very much kind of like a card game, but it's got this sort of 3D wrapper now. I'm going to pick a couple of things that is going to help her. Now these are like ways to change the game. I'll show you some of the big ones. This one here, where are we? These are the Crown of the Kingmaker. You may select a puppet within the first 10 turns. If your chosen puppet wins the game via election, you will steal their victory instead. So this really changes how the game plays in a big because you're actually playing to lose. You can actually try to win yourself, but if it looks like somebody else, your puppet is going to win, you can try to carefully steer them towards winning. Now, if they think that you're going to win, like if they suspect that you're trying to help them, then they're going to try. They're going to try to win the game in a different way. There are multiple victory conditions, but you've got other things that do different abilities. I'm actually going to go for. There is a prophecy. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to go for the Amulet of Prophecy. Give us a couple of prophecy points, and I think I'm going to go for. Yeah, we've got the Ring of Renewal and we've got the Ring of Glory. I'm going to go for the Ring of Glory. This will give us more prestige points when we fight. So there are multiple ways to basically get prestige, which is what you need to win. Go to lock in the Archfiend. I'm just going to put in a bunch of random AI there. They're all going to be AI. Okay. I think everything about the presentation in this game is actually pretty good. It's just the mismatch of the graphics that I found a bit odd. It's not terrible though, and I'm not going to go on about it. Like, I do love the original game. It's worth checking out videos of the original game. I might actually do one because I've got a copy of Solium Infernum that I bought before the shop went down. So the story is, Armageddon Empires. Vic Davis was able to transfer over to Steam, so you can go and buy that one on Steam. He didn't transfer the other 2 games. I think it was a Gunslinger Chronicles, and there was another one that was like a Lovecraftian sort of game. Those 2 you can't get now, I don't think, and I don't think I got copies of those, unfortunately. So I think they're abandonware essentially now. But Solium Infernum, he couldn't transfer it over. There was something to do with the copy protection that meant that he was unable to transfer this game over to Steam. So he sold the rights to this company, and they've done a good job, I think. And but the original game, the original games were sold on a store that used Adobe Flash. So when Flash was discontinued, the store stopped working, so you can no longer buy the games. So I was lucky, I actually rebought a copy of Solium Infernum about 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, before the store went down. But so I have got it, and I will show people. I actually like the art style in that one better. Although I think this is going to grow on me. It's a little bit like the Master of Magic remake, right? Like, you're going to have nostalgia for the old game, but the new one's pretty cool. Okay, the Dark Majesty has vanished, and the Conclave of Pandemonium howls for a replacement. You're an Archfiend, ruler of a great house of hell, and yours is the right to claim the infernal throne. Build your prestige, command your legions, and surpass your fellow fallen by blood or treachery. No sin is beneath you. This is hell after all. Okay, so I'm gonna try to talk about this one as I play, because it's such a complex game. I think it's just gonna be, I'm gonna be spending a whole hour telling you how to play, and then there's not gonna be much gameplay. Put simply, here's Pandemonium. At the end of this is where there's a conclave of Archfiends, basically, who will determine who is going to be the winner. At the end of 40 turns, they will elect whoever has got the most prestige points. Okay, you can spend prestige points as well to rank yourself up. So if we go to the Sanctum, The UI is a bit weird as well. It's like the old game had a very old UI, I've got to say, but everything was in one place, so it was a little bit overwhelming when you first started learning it, and it wasn't very beginner friendly actually. But once you read the manual and you knew what it all did, everything was in one place, kind of. Here it's all in weird places. Like, I don't know, they tried to make it look like a standard 4X game, and they've just sort of split stuff around, and it doesn't always feel like it makes a lot of sense. That said, it is pretty nice, and I do actually quite like exploring UIs, so that's one thing I think, you know, that stands in its favour. Anyway, you can spend your prestige points to rank yourself up, and as you go up from Baroness to Marquis to Duchess to Princess, as you go up, you get more abilities. Like, the higher your rank, it'll actually tell you here, look, improving your rank will increase the number of tokens received from seek and demand tribute actions. I'll explain those in a minute. And unlock more powerful diplomatic actions and increase your voting power for edicts. So this basically ranks you up in the, you know, in the rankings of the game. However, it will spend prestige, and you need to have the most prestige at the end of the game to win. So it's kind of a trade-off. You're going to be spending prestige to essentially get stronger. It's a really, really, really genius game design. It's absolutely amazing. You've got four resources. You've got souls, ichor, hellfire, and darkness. Okay, these are used for different things in different proportions. You can use them to buy more legions. The legions can be used to take territory and to take these points of power. These points of power will give you prestige every turn. Some of them will give you 1, some will give you 2. The Great Wheel of Pain, for example, is quite an easy one to take, so we probably want to go for that one. This one's a lot harder, the Altar of Abomination, and we've also got the Vats of Torment. You can't just attack enemies without having a vendetta, what's called a vendetta, okay? So you can't just charge into your enemy and crush them. You can win by crushing all your enemies, but you have to have a legal reason to go in. There's like a casus belli. You have you declare what's called a vendetta, and there's various ways that you can do that. What else do I need to explain briefly before I start playing? So that you've got a series of orders as well. There's a maximum of 3 orders in the game. You can unlock this later on, but for the most part, what happens is there's an order in which people play. So you've got 4 players. We've got Elizabeth, which is me, and we've got Beelzebub, and we've got Belial, and then we've got Lilith. And these guys, the Pandemonium, because there's no king of hell, or there's no ruler of hell at the moment. They hand over regency every turn to a new player, and whoever's the regent gets to play first. Okay, and what happens is you'll take your order first. And you'll do your orders, and then the next player will do their orders, etc., and it will cycle round. So each player gets to go first, once every 4 turns, I guess. So that's how that works. Okay, as for strategy, there's so many ways. There's multiple victory conditions. We probably should look at those. Actually, there's so many victory conditions that I've actually forgotten what they all are. There's an encyclopedia, so let's go and have a look at this. Okay, so we've got the Trial of the Throne. This is the main victory condition, right? After a set minimum number of turns, the assembly of the conclave begins. The assembly lasts between 5 and 13 turns, broken into phases, after which the Archfiend with the most prestige is elected to the throne and wins the game. If you believe in lawful election and you do not suspect other Archfiends of manipulating you, focus on building your prestige or lawfully eliminating rivals. Okay, and then you can disrupt it in several ways and start bringing one of the other victory conditions. You've got the Tyranny of the Usurper. This is basically where you attack. You get strong enough that you can attack Pandemonium itself, which is the center, the capital, if you remember this one here. And you actually attack them, and that throws up the rulebook out the window. Then you've got to basically hold on to that as long as you can. You've got to hold on to them as long as you can in order to win. Where are we? Sorry. Go to the Trial of the Throne. Sorry, the Trial of the Usurper. So all diplomacy is cancelled. You become excommunicated, which means you're sort of like on your own in the game, essentially. So that's the other way you can win. Then you've got the Triumph of the Abyss. This is when all the surviving Archfiends are excommunicated. Hell collapses and nobody wins. And then you've got manipulation victory. So I've talked about the Crown of the Kingmaker already, where you select a puppet. That's one of them. There's another one called Crown of Power Behind the Throne. So if you're a blood vassal of the election winner, you steal their victory instead, and then you can just eliminate them all. Capturing another's Archfiend Stronghold eliminates them from the game. Since the Assembly of the Conclave can only choose one available candidate, or from available candidates, you can narrow the field. In fact, you might decide to sweep your rival archfields beans off the table like so many used cups. Okay, so, and that's not as easy as it sounds, by the way, because they work like, basically what will happen is the players will work together to kind of like achieve certain goals. So the base strategy that we want at the start of the game is to take a little bit of territory. We need to I want to try and grab this if we can. We are quite close to it. By moving your legions, as you see, we'll actually take territory. So we're going to actually go and grab. I'm going to try to get to this Wheel of Pain quick. Then I want to get myself. I go to the bazaar, where we can bid on legions and we can build on praetors. Think of these as troops and leaders, okay, and you can assign the leaders to the troops or to other things as well. There's various jobs that the leaders can do. We've got artifacts and we've got manuscripts. These do different things too. We'll come across those when we need them. Okay, so we've got the enslaved of Urscabet. I think I'm going to spend my first order on actually moving this guy or these guys out this way, and I'm actually going to try to encircle the Great Wheel of Pain around between me and Pandemonium, and then we're going to take it. In the meantime, we're going to try to get the souls, Ica, Hellfire, and Darkness we need in order to grab a Praetor. But let's see if we can find one that's reasonably priced. Yeah, this guy's quite cheap. He only gives you +2 ranged. He's not a great leader. Combat happens in three rounds. You've got the ranged round, you've got the melee round, and then you've got the infernal round. It's like arrows, swords, and sorcery. And in this game, in this version, there's no random dice rolls like there were in the original. So basically, the ones with the highest scores. I'm not sure about this change, by the way. I can't decide whether it's a good change or not. I think the random element in it was important, but it seems like the developers did not agree. It might well be that people did not like that aspect of the game, because you could kind of go up to something like here now. If you've basically got better stats than what you're fighting, you are guaranteed to win. Okay. And there's no randomness in it. However, other players can do things to interfere with your combat, so it's not a complete dead cert. I don't really like deterministic games. I think they got problems, and that, introducing randomness into games can actually make them better. In fact, it usually does, in my opinion. However, I'm going to withhold judgment until I've played. So that's going to be my first order. We're going to move the enslaved of Urscabet towards the Wheel of Pain. I think what we're going to do next, in the next few turns, is we're going to circle it so no one else can get it. I might actually circle this one off too. We've got Beelzebub nearby. We'll have to see what he does. The map scrolls, by the way. It circles round. So as you can see, we're back to where we started. If I go to the east, there we go. Look, so it's not a big map, and yeah, you basically want to portion off territory. Enemies cannot enter your territory once you've taken it, okay? So it's important to get territory early in the game. I think my first goal is to go for the Wheel of Pain. I think I can win this one. Yeah, because this is what I don't like about the deterministic combat now. You've got to kind of figure out who's going to win. And so now I've got to do a bunch of maths. I hate doing maths when I'm playing games. So yeah, I mean, I think here we're going to win the melee phase by 3, and then we are going to win the other phase by 1. Okay, so that's good. We're going to be doing 4 damage to it per turn. So it's going to take 3 turns if we don't boost our legion, and we want to get this as soon as possible because this is going to generate prestige for us. Okay, let's go. So you've got some diplomatic actions you can do. Put simply, this tends to be, you will do things like insult them, or and that will give them the option to either accept the insult and you'll gain a load of prestige off them, or they'll deny it, and then that will allow you to proclaim a vendetta against them if you want, which means that you can then legally go into their lands and take stuff. So you kind of like bullying people, because it's like, right, give me your stuff, or you can demand things as well. So you can demand some of their resources. So you're like, I want 3 of your resource cards, and if they say yes, you get their stuff. If they say no, you get a vendetta again. You get the option for a vendetta or a duel. You can do a duel with your praetors, the hero cards. So it's really interesting. There's so many different little things that you can do, and the ways to get prestige are many. Okay, so I think to really get good at this game, you're gonna have to play it a lot, because it's gonna be one of those games where, you know, you got to be able to watch what your opponents are doing. It's really gonna shine in single player because it's all about diplomacy. So like with other players, you're gonna be talking to them and saying, okay, I'm gonna take this, I'll let you take that, but you know, you blah blah blah, and then people backstabbing one another. It's a game really that's very much like Dominions in that sense, where people will be doing very, very frantic diplomacy behind the lines. Anyway, let's carry on. So I think what I want to do is I probably want to get some more of these. Actually, I might grab this cheap Praetor. He's only 4 souls and 5 Ica, so he's not a great leader. He's level 2. Now this guy's a lot better, but look, he's got 12 Ica. We don't have anywhere near that much. The way that resources work is really interesting as well. Bune, he's actually not bad. He gives us +3 melee. I'd actually quite like the range bonus because this is going to give us an extra +2. Let me just see what we'd get with Bune. We'd get so we're going to have 9 melee. That's got, oh wow, that'd be 6. That would be 7 per turn. But giving them that would be 2. So that would be 2. Yeah, we'd do 2 damage on ranged. Then we'd do 3, so that'd be 5, and then 6. Yeah, we could probably make do with the archer guy. He's actually cheaper. Oh no, he's not cheaper. He's more expensive. Feral Lunge. He's a good jeweler, this guy. So he might actually be a good guy to have initially anyway. He's actually quite good at dueling. That's why he's expensive. Bune's cheap, though. See, I like these graphics here. These are really good. These look more like what I'd expect to see in Hell. See what I mean? But there's a bit of a mismatch with the Archfiends. I wish they changed the Archfiends so they look like this. That would be so much better. Instead, you just got these weird, goofy characters that look like an Aardman Animations thing. But yeah, that's my main complaint. Yeah, okay, we'll go with... Yeah, I don't think I can get this one, actually. Yeah, I don't have enough Ica, so it's going to be Bune. So you actually bid on these guys. Bune Praetor. It's not that he lacks the manpower to accomplish such feats. He lacks the fortitude and spiritual constitution to rub horns with the member of the High Peerage. I fear nothing. To me, he is powdered bone. However, Bifrons, I suggest you watch your own. Private letter from Murmur to Bifrons, transcribed from Murmur's private scrivener, Lules. Okay, so there's a little bit of lore. I think these might be straight out of the original game. So let's place a bid on him. So this is actually, you actually bid for these. I'm actually going to put in. So here are your resource cards. You can only put a maximum of 4 in. So there's this kind of weird game where sometimes you have to consolidate these into like these consolidated tokens. Look, you can see here, this one has got 2 Ichor, this one has 2 darkness. Here we want 2 of these, and we want 3 fire. Wait a minute. Could put in that one. That's going to put in one of these consolidated tokens. You want to use these where you can, because otherwise you might end up with one that's, like, for example, if we use this, it's going to give an extra darkness, and we probably don't want to do that. So there's a little bit of a mini game. This is an important part of the game. It seems a bit weird and archaic now, but I really like it. I think it's kind of an interesting part of the game that I'm surprised they didn't change this. I would have thought out of all the stuff that they changed, this might be something they would do. I'm actually going to put in 2 of these. I want to win this guy, so, and I think this one's going to be contested. So I'm probably going to put a little bit extra in. Yeah, I think it's going to be contested. Whoever makes the highest bid wins, by the way. So let's go. We're going to bid for that guy, and that's going to be our 2 turns. Gosh, 25 minutes to make 1 turn, but this is always going to be the way when we do a new series. Like I say, folks, this is going to be a short series. I'm expecting it to be over pretty quick, and Shadow Empire it's going to get my attention if I don't have much time. Okay, turn 2, Trial of the Throne. So we are currently the Conclave favourite. Conclave favourite is the Archfiend, currently tipped to win the election. That is decided by the Conclave, basically. So yeah, that's I don't know what this means if you're the favourite. I think it's just a rough indication of who's winning. Okay. So we didn't actually see any of these guys make any moves. So and you get to see what they do. You don't see all their actions though. I think I'm going to move I am going to move these guys. So actually the first thing we want to do, sorry, just get rid of this. The first thing we want to do is attach. Did we win him? Yeah, we won Bune. Okay, so we got Bune. So let's add him to the Legion, and we transfer a Praetor. There we go. Bune's been added. So we've now actually leveled up, basically. He makes these guys a lot stronger. Next, we want to move here, and then we're actually going to attack into the Great Wheel of Pain. The quicker I get this, the better. And that's going to be my turn. There we go. So we attached Bune, look. So he's going to be leading our forces now. The animations are a bit slow. I don't know if you can change these. I'm probably going to try to, though, because for me it's a little bit too slow. Okay, so here's the first battle. There's the range round. Nobody's doing any range damage. Now we're going to do 6 damage here. So yeah, they got 5 left. And then we're going to do 1 damage. There we go. Okay. So we didn't gain a decisive victory. Now, that's going to heal next turn. It will heal a little bit, because all the fortifications and units will heal a little bit. Okay. Looks like we're still winning. Now, we didn't get to see anything that the AI was doing. So these guys are playing it cautiously by the looks of it. You've got these random units that move around, by the way, as well. I forget what they do now. Okay. Bune was attached. Here's the battle report, look. Now, this is where this is what I don't I'm not sure if I like this deterministic combat system anymore, because it kind of just means that you've got to start doing maths. But it is a little bit more predictable, I guess. Maybe they're just trying to make it a little bit easier and less prone to people getting upset because, you know, they got a bad dice roll or something. I do understand that argument. I'm not for it personally. I used to play Blood Bowl. In fact, I do still play Blood Bowl sometimes. And if you play Blood Bowl, you'll learn to love bad luck. You've just got to learn to laugh. Okay, this turn, we want to continue with our attack. I am going to continue. I'm going to move her. Sorry, I'm going to move the Legion. And I'm going to attack in the battle again. So we're going to continue to circle this off. I don't want anybody to be able to take this quickly once we've taken it. I also do want... I'm then going to try and go to the Vats of Torment. Now, we're a little bit low on our resources. So what we're going to do is we're going to... I don't know why this button's down here, but this is the Seek Tribute order. Command your minions to bring you a selection of tribute tokens to select from next turn. Do so earlier in the turn to increase the quality. Ah, okay, right. So, I don't think we're in any danger. Let's just cancel that order. Let's do that early. So we're going to do that one first, and then we're going to move. So, as you can see, the order matters, because I think... Yeah, if I remember right, the order matters... Oh, I'm trying to remember why it matters. It would matter, right, if everybody takes turn 1 first. That might be the way it works. I can't actually quite remember now. Anyway, let's just end the turn. So first we're going to get our tribute. Next we're going to go and grab this Great Wheel of Pain. You won't actually see much action from the AI, so that's a bit odd. Usually the AI will be moving around as well. It's likely that they're playing with a different play style. Okay. Okay, so we've defeated them in the second round. So we've captured the Wheel of Pain. There we go. Skip this sequence. Oh, okay, so now we're seeing some movement. Oh, we've just got some more of these neutral NPC things moving up. You can kill these and get experience, I think. Okay, we've actually we got some prestige now for capturing the Wheel of Pain there. So we've got the most prestige, and I think we can now use this to level ourselves up. So if we go to the... no, not the Ritual Chamber. That's where we cast magic. That's not what we want. We want the Sanctum. Here we go. Yeah, we can actually level up to the Marquis now. So this improving our rank will increase the number of tokens from Seek and Demand Tribute. We've already read that. There we go. That's what I'm going to do first. Let's just have a look at the tributes that we got. So we've got a choice of tribute. We can pick 2. Choice of tribute from your minions has arrived and waits your selection. We've got some darkness. Let's take the fire and the darkness. 2 each. Yeah, we've got the battle report. And Lilith got the Praetor Valifar. So that was the other guy that I think we were looking at trying to get. And here, this one's up for grabs now. Oh, we can't afford him because we don't have enough Ica. So yeah, these guys seem to take a lot of Ica. He's +1 ranged and +2 infernal. We've got this guy here. He's level 4. He's good at really good at dueling. Look, and he's got +3 melee and +2 ranged. Gusion. Okay. So this turn, yeah, we're gonna purchase our rank. I might actually just do the. No, I'm gonna move these first. Let's cut him off this side from the Garden of Delights, and then we'll move towards the Vats of Torment. If I can get all 3 of these, this will be really powerful. I don't know if the others will let me do it. We'll see. So that's going to be my first move. Next move, I think I am going to upgrade my rank. There are ways of taking prestige from other players, by the way. So, for example, if you insult them, and they say, and you know, they accept the insult, basically you've kind of made them look bad in front of the others in hell, so then you take their prestige from them. It's all about being the biggest, baddest demon. Biggest, baddest archfiend. Yeah, I'm just gonna see if there's an option to speed up these animations. Okay, so the Conclave Favourite is now moved to Beelzebub, because he's actually got the most prestige. We haven't got much prestige now. We're going to be getting it slowly. We've got to start getting aggressive to get us some prestige points. Ah! Here's an event. The Winds of Discord. A spark of unrest has been fanned into a flame of revolt, and a place of power has risen up against Ezrabet's rebellion. It returns to neutral. Oh no! Okay, that was unfortunate. So we lost that straight away. That's really irritating. Okay, what we're going to do, at least we've kind of cut it off. So what we're going to do here is we're going to move her down this way. Like that, and I'm going to circle back around. We're going to take this again. I might take it straight away because I really need that. And it's only at 4 hit points. We'll take it back in 1 turn. See what army this Beelzebub's got here. This is Beelzebub, right? Yeah, this is Beelzebub. Oh no, blue. Sorry, this is Belial. Children of Belial. 8 ranged. Wow, that's a strong ranged attack. Only what? Right, they're going to do 8 damage to us right at the start. So these guys we don't want to fight. Okay, they're a bit much for us. What about these guys? These are 5 range. So again, they're going to do 5 damage at the start. But we're going to do a whole 7 damage. Yeah, we'll kill them in one go. Yeah, we'll win this. So they've not actually got. Also, we've also got Bune. I think Bune's. Oh yeah, it's included here. So why am I sizing Armenies up? Well, because I want to get some prestige now, and I think we can challenge these guys. And if they see that they're going to lose, he will probably just give us the. He will just give us the prestige points. Okay, Beelzebub has unseated Ezrabet as the Conclave's favourite. You are the regent. Okay, so I get to move this turn. When you're the regent, you also get to pick an event card. A few lucky mortals are freed from torment, and all the archfiends lose half of any tribute tokens contain at least 1 soul. You can play these. All ongoing rituals are stopped up in the stale air and cancelled. And archfiends cannot perform new ones for 3 to 6 turns. Interesting. I'll grab this, but I don't know if I'll use it. Okay, so we've actually increased our rank. You shall now be known as Ezrabet, Marquis of Hell, or Marquis of Hell. You receive more tokens whilst you contribute. Blah blah blah. Your minions have brought you a meager offering of their own volition, no doubt to appease your wrath. So we get some resources as well. Yeah, I'm going to take these. I'm also going to. What do I need? I probably need another legion because I kind of want to go in this direction too. The Altar of Abomination. That's a level 4. But we can win that one. Look, probably 5. So we're going to be taking 2 damage, and that's going to be taking 1. Okay. Yeah, we need to level up more before we can take that on. But we can take the Great Wheel of Pain now. I think I'm going to grab... Yeah, let's move her first. Let's move the army first, sorry. So they'll grab that, and then I'm going to go to the diplomacy. Okay. Sorry, that was the wrong one. I thought that was diplomacy. And we want to... was it Beelzebub? Yeah, it was. Just double check this. Yeah, Beelzebub. Okay. Beelzebub. Okay. So we can make a demand. We can insult. We can these actions we don't need to worry about at the moment. The declare actions, propose as well, and then we've got the dark arts. Those ones we can ignore for the time being. Demand and insult are the two ones we want to look at. This is how you get more prestige, basically, or goad enemies into a war, or you can demand tribute. You can demand, you know, their resources off them. Ah, okay. We need a wager of prestige, so we can't do this. We need prestige first, and it will be the same, I think, with the insult. Yeah. So you have to wager your prestige up. If they turn it down. That's the other thing, by the way. If you insult somebody, for example, try to get them to go declare the vendetta or accept the insult. If they ignore it, basically, you will lose your prestige wager. Right, we need to get more prestige. We've spent all our prestige a little bit early in order to level up to the Marquis. Probably shouldn't have done that early, but that's no problem. We've got plenty of things we can be getting on with. I think what I'm going to do is let's just get that in first, and then we'll move. Guys, I'm going to take the Wheel of Pain back. We need to get the prestige. Let's just speed up this animation. We know that we've won it, so we don't need to worry about watching it. There we go. Okay, these guys are moving. That is it, I think. Looks like the AI is not using its armies much. In the last game I played, when I was just playing myself last night a little bit, yep, the AI was using its legions a lot. Okay, so this guy's the regent. He's also the conclave favourite, Beelzebub. Okay, an outbreak of virtue among mortals has brought a miserable harvest, reducing the tribute quality of all archbeams by 3 for 3 turns. That's really unfortunate. So yeah, now we get to pick 3. Choice of tribute from your minions has arrived. What do we need? Let's have a look what we would like to get. I would like to get another legion, I think. Are there any good ones around? You got this little one, the 10,000 Screaming Bastards. This one's not very strong, but you can just use it to pick stuff up with. You know, to pick up territory, essentially. Now that is good. The only problem is if an enemy declares a vendetta, one of the goals of the vendetta might be to destroy a legion, in which case that is easily destroyed, so you're going to have to run away with it. We've got the Chains of Torment, and we've got the Dark Stalkers. Gosh. 4, 6, 8, and 7. That would be nice to save up for. We've also got this one here, 4, 5, and 4. Or 5 flame. Well, we can almost afford that if we had some flame. That's not bad. Not a very strong one. This one's really, really strong. That would be a nice one to go for. So we're going to need 2, 4, and 2. So we're going to want this one. And we'll grab this one here, I think. So let me just see how close we are to grabbing that again. We need 1 more Ica, we need 2 fire, and we've got enough. Yeah, we've nearly got enough for that. That's not bad. Now we're going to get less tribute from for the next few turns, so we'll just put that on hold. Let's hope that no one else grabs that, because the tribute's not going to be great. Legion promoted. Your legion, enslaved to Versabet, has distinguished itself in the field of battle. Select which aspect of martial warfare that they will tirelessly train to improve as their reward. Okay, we can level them up. I think we probably want some ranged in there, just so we don't get so wrecked in melee. Or we can increase their hit points by 6. That's a lot. I think I might do that. Okay, so let's increase their hit points. That means we could probably even take on somebody who's got a very high ranged ability and still have a chance of winning. Maybe. Alright. So, we've now got the prestige we need to be able to do what I wanted to do. This guy's not got a chance of winning us against us now. I think... Yeah, he's gonna get wrecked by us. Absolutely rickety wrecked. Oh yeah, you can make stratagems on these guys. This is how you add a bit of randomness into the combat. You can basically spend some points in order to reduce the enemy's abilities. So you can reduce the range by 1 to 4, or you can strengthen your own legion in certain areas. This is pretty cool. I think that this is a really, really nice system. I don't remember if this was in the first game or not. If it wasn't, sorry, this is actually a nice way to replace the RNG in the game. And I don't remember if stratagems were in the original. I want to say they were. I'd have to check. Anyway, yeah, we could actually spend. It's 2 darkness and 1 souls, and we could actually reduce the enemies ranged here. But that's one of the things you could do. So, for example, if we were going up against these guys, and they got a really high range, we could reduce their range a little bit, and that would actually help us win that battle then. What do we want to do here? I think we need to have a look at how strong the enemies are. Beelzebub, we've got 7 cantons. By the way, the hexes are called cantons, okay? So, just view our domain. Yeah, we've got 14 cantons. So we've got the most territory, probably, at the moment. They've got 8, 25 prestige. She's got 7. We're actually doing pretty well here. We're doing pretty well. I think... Yeah. Let's move in on Beelzebub's territory. And then we're going to insult him. And we are going to heal. We're going to be in a weakened state. But that might goad him into attacking us. And then we can actually go in and kill him. Because we can use one of the stratagems. That might be one thing that we can do. Because the enemy, the AI will make decisions, but I think, based on how, your relative strength. So if he sees our hit points are lower, it might actually be goaded into attacking us. I think this is what we're going to do. So this is the kind of thought process you need in this game. I'm going to go. No, maybe I go. Okay, like that, and that will cut off the garden. And we can actually move to cut off the Garden of Delights here. Okay, so we were picking a promotion. Sorry, I just had to take a short break there. Yeah, we already picked this, didn't we? Okay. Sorry, I was getting a bit confused because I did have a short interruption. I'm just trying to find where I was again. Okay, so we've done... Okay, we were moving that way. That's right, I was going to cut off the Garden of Eternal Delights. I remember what I was going to do now. So, I was going to go to insult this guy. Let's just see if we've got enough... There we are. Yeah, we can do an insult. And we can demand as well. I might actually demand resources. So we're going to... it's going to be a 7 prestige wager. Demand tribute from Beelzebub. You can declare vendetta if they reject. So go to demand, and then we can decide what we want. And... The reason why you can change this, by the way, it's like, why would you ever just demand 3? Well, the reason is, sometimes you might want them to say no, right? So... Or sometimes you might want to actually get what you want, because they might be more willing to give you 3, because 3 tokens is is actually significantly less. Bearing in mind the tokens can sometimes be consolidated, so they can have quite a lot of resources in them. So yeah, that's why you've got the choice, because you might actually want the tokens. In this case, I think I do want the tokens. I also don't want him to say no, because I don't want to lose my wager. But it doesn't really matter. And actually, I'd quite like to crush his army. So there we go. Getting a vendetta early on would be pretty useful for us. Look at that. Okay. All right. That looks pretty cool. I do quite like that. That's very, very silly. So there we go. That's our 2 choices. Okay. So the armies are on the march. Lilith's finally moving. I wonder what they've been doing. Okay, here's our forces moving in. So we're actually going to take this canton here on the edge of Beelzebub's stronghold. Now, you can't just take a stronghold that easily. you have to be in what's called a blood feud in order to be able to take their stronghold. So you can take cantons from them in a vendetta, but you can't take take the stronghold. The void turns its great blind eye upon you, my friend. Its voice recites your eulogy. Its hands reach out. Do not be afraid, it reaches for us all. This is just Beelzebub talking some crap at us. Conclave proclamation. Your vote will be required. Abyssal infestation. Conclave has deemed a forced resettlement of a volatile abyssal strider population across hell. A successful candidate will have an infestation of abyssal striders spawned within their territory. We don't want that. Okay, so that vote will come up soon. Harvest remains poor, so tribute quality stays reduced by 3. Okay. Beelzebub has received your demand and will respond next turn. Okay, so there's a 1-turn wait. Auction concluded. The manuscript accuracy training has been purchased from the bazaar by Belial, and obsidian skin has been purchased from the bazaar by Lilith. Okay, 2 fragment primer on methods to increase allegiance ranged attribute. Interesting. 3 fragment manual to teach the obsidian skin dueling technique to a praetor. Okay. So Lilith looks like she might be, because she's not been moving much, she might have been building for a dueling ability, you know, for a dueling sort of build. That's kind of interesting. Let's move down to here. We could cut them off that way. I might try to cut these guys off and then attack them. Are we returned to full health yet? No. Okay. I thought you got natural healing. Maybe not. Maybe if you move, you don't heal. I forgot. I don't actually know how that works. I'm just gonna let's just have a look at the encyclopedia. This is really good, by the way. This is the game rules, basically. And where are we? This is really nicely done, I think. A legion whose hit points hits 0 will eventually is destroyed. Legions are healed each turn they spend adjacent to a stronghold or captured place of tower. Okay, we've actually got to move it back. Let's move them back to. Yeah, we need to move them back. In fact, we want to move. I would actually quite like. Now we've done the. I didn't know that. I thought that they just healed normally. So I am actually going to go and spend... Normally I would take these because we want more cantons. But, and if I remember right, let's go to see where are the cantons. Cantons. Hell. Canton capture. Each hexagon of... Sorry, I'm struggling to speak today, I don't know why. Each hexagon of hellish soil can be claimed to increase an archfiend's territory and take strategic control of the landscape. Once you claim a canton, your rival archfiends will require diplomacy to capture or even move through your domain. Cantons can be claimed or captured by one of 4 rights. The right of prima inferna. If you're the first archfiend to march a legion onto an unclaimed canton, it becomes yours. The right of vendetta. Yeah, okay, so you can march your legions in then. And you've got to end your movement on it. And here it shows you, look, let's say this is the AI territory. You can only move 1 at a time if you want to capture it. If you move 2, you don't. And actually you get stuck. And this is what it doesn't tell you, is that if you move like this and you get stuck, you can't move that. I made this mistake in my last game, and it kind of ended my game. So, yeah, you don't do that. Like, you want to move like this. Like 1, 2. So you can only take 1 every turn. Then you've got the right of conclave. Certain events, rituals, and edicts may reassign ownership of cantons, and then if you're excommunicated, your cantons can be instantly captured by anyone who enters them. Alright, I don't know what the cantons do, other than just be territory. I forget now. I'm just going to see if there is a setting to increase the animation speed. No, it doesn't look like it. That's a shame. I think that I would like to see an option to speed up the interface, because you know the turn playback. It's, for me, that's a little bit too slow when I'm playing single player. I think in a multiplayer game it's not so much of a big problem. I mean, unless there's a lot of stuff going on, then it could be quite onerous. But yeah, that would be some feedback that I'd give to the developers. Where are we going to go? Do I take this? No, I think we are going to go and heal our Let's go. Let's move up next to the Great Wheel of Pain and we'll heal. This turn. Yeah, we're really close to these Darkstalkers. I'd quite like to get them. 4, 6, 8, 7. Yeah, he'll actually respond next turn. He probably could beat us with this because we're weakened. Yeah, we do need to heal these guys up. I made a bit of a mistake there, but that's okay. Battle mode making mistakes in games is quite normal. I'm just wondering whether to grab another legion, so if you do go to war, we can actually quickly take some. Yeah, because these ones are going to be out of action for a bit, I think. I might pass on trying to get the Darkstalkers and instead just go for these guys. So. Oh, we don't need any of the spirits, the little ghost icons. We need Ica and Darkness. We need Fire and Ica, and then we'll get rid of some of these. So we've got 2 Ica, and then we need the Fire. Okay, we're over by 1. That's all right. Let's try and get these guys or ladies, whatever they are, or things, and then we'll be able to. We'll actually be able to have a backup legion just in case we've got a problem. Okay. So we got 40 turns. As you can see, the game plays relatively quickly. I think this is probably going to be like a 4 or 5 episode series. So probably about 5 hours of play against the AI. Okay, looks like these guys they took down the Abyssal Strider, but they're nearly dead. Look, this is the Children of Belial. Okay, yeah, that is a bit too slow. You can speed it up, by the way. I'd like to see what they're doing, but just a little bit quicker. Okay, there we go, and we managed to get that legion. So it looks like we won that bid. Okay. All right, a new favourite. Belial has unseated Beelzebub as a favourite. Lilith sends a message. You do not appear in my visions, child. Remain anonymous if you wish. Watch fate from the margins, or join me in the ruination of Belial. They figure in my visions considerably. Okay, so she wants to attack Belial. Okay, the AI's got some basic diplomacy. I think that's really nice, by the way. So she wants to take on Belial. Now they will trick you. Belial is here. I think. Yeah, we've got to think about this. So here's Lilith. She wants basically to try and take this guy out of the game. I think that's what she's trying to say. Dearth of tribute. Event continues. Harvest remains poor, and so tribute quality stays within 3. Okay. Beelzebub is set to my demand. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of tribute here. That's good. So and also we received some prestige for doing that. He was not ready to fight us, and he knew it. Okay. Okay, these guys are up to 9 hit points. Keep them there another turn. I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually move out with these. Right, let's get auction 1 as well. Yeah, so we won these guys. The Abyssal Strider battle, and the Praetor Firthor has been purchased from the bazaar by Beelzebub. Alright, there's some other stuff we can do in this game, by the way. We've got rituals as well. So these are different cards that you can play on your on your enemies. Darkly reveal, so this is Dark Augury 2, a prophecy ritual. We've got these, by the way. The access to these comes from your abilities. So sorry, from your wrath. We've got wrath rituals, we've got deceit rituals, we've got prophecy rituals, and we've got elocution. So we've actually taken some abilities in prophecy. Darkly reveals the target archfiend's weakest powers and the contents of their vault. This is pretty cool. We've also got Evil Ward. Remember though, all of these take a turn. This is a resource management game in a lot of ways, as much as it is a diplomacy. I think this is a diplomacy game first and foremost, actually, when you're playing in multiplayer. I'm assuming. I know that from you know, reading the famous Rock Paper Shotgun review that was done many years ago of the original game, which was really good, by the way. Back in the days when Rock Paper Shotgun was still a decent outlet, they actually did some really good articles before they went down the drain. And they did a really great. It's well worth reading that. Also, I know because I've spoken to a few people who play this multiplayer over the years, and yeah, so it is a multiplayer game. It's mostly so diplomacy is really, really important, but also it's resource management, and you'll see that there's a lot of resources in it, right? There's a lot of stuff to manage. Okay, where are we going next? I think we should try to take some more cantons. Let's try to get this altar of abomination within our range. Mind you, I don't know if we really need to move. Have we got any? Are there any more praetors available? Yes. Gosh, look at him. He's 13 Ica. This one is 3 infernal, 1 melee. This one means you can move the melee to the end. The melee phase is resolved last after the infernal phase. That would be good if you had really strong ranged and the others, but you're really weak in melee. Let me just remind myself of what our legion is. These guys are good, 2 ranged, 4 melee, and 4 infernal. These are like a bit of a mixed bag. 2, 4, 4. By the way, you don't just use praetors like this. You can add them to other things as well. He's a bit out of our range. We could get one of these though. Yeah, these are dueling moves. I think this one will be the one. Let's place a bid on these. Now, you can auto-select them, by the way, and it will just automatically bang them out. Now, it won't necessarily use the ones that you would like to use. For example, yeah, I think that looks about right. Let's just go for we'll go for pay. So we're going to put a bid down there on that one. Next, I think we need to keep this guy here. Let's move these ones this side, and we're gonna try to get round the side of these vats of torment. Eventually, I want to take this. This is going to give us 2 prestige per turn. Just having a look at the others. 27 prestige, 29. Lilith's got 27 as well. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So we're losing on that term. However, we've ranked up, all right? So we're actually a little bit leveled up. Also, in the Sanctum, you can increase your powers. So there's even more to this game, as you can see. We could level up Destruction if we wanted. If we wanted to be able to start using some Destruction stuff. I'm not too worried about that for the time being. Yeah, let's end the turn here. I'm going to have to end the episode in a moment, folks, because we're nearly an hour, and that's enough for one playthrough. I hope I was able to show this game. This is a really complicated game, and I think that it's probably easier to show this as a single player game than it would be to do a multiplayer. I don't really. I'm actually trying to sort out a multiplayer game with a few people, you know, YouTubers. But we'll see how that goes. If we can find enough people to play, that would be great. I know that Daz Tactic is interested. We just need to find another couple of players. But that would be really cool. It would be a short game though, because I haven't got much time for multiplayer games at the moment. I've already got 1 on the go, or 2 on the go. A period of accounting has been completed. This is Vault Rot. Corruptions, physical and spiritual, have eaten away at the wealth of every archfiend, resulting in the loss of 1/4 of all tribute tokens. Okay, so I lost one of these. Okay, that's not great, but there we go. We're the regent this turn. This is going to be the last turn, I think, guys. A random archfiend must play a bribe of tribute or lose 10% of their prestige. Select that one. Okay, tribute quality has been restored finally. We won the auction for the Praetor, that's good. And adversaries bicker. What happened here? Lilith actually made a demand of Belial. Right, so we could actually threaten Belial here, because Lilith's basically offering to work with us. But Beelzebub's also kind of on the ropes. I say he's on the ropes. Basically, we were able to successfully threaten him into giving us a bunch of his stuff. We could try to insult him this time. We've got 2 legions. I don't think he's going to win this. Lilith wants us to fight against Belial, so we could probably, if we could get some kind of, if we could get a vendetta, we might be able to take these cantons off him and actually encircle the Garden of Infernal Delights here. That would be one option that we've got. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to move here, and I'm going to move these guys like that. And then I think I'm actually going to go. I'm going to pick on Beelzebub, because making Lilith stronger isn't going to help my game, I don't think. Let's go to diplomacy. Go to Beelzebub. Ah. No, we can't do this. Why? Oh, you must wait 1 turn before another extort. Okay, yeah. So I've tried it a little bit too often. Sorry, it's too close to the last time that I did it. What does this get me? Actually, I might move these ones down here. So, oh, that's the wrong guy. Yeah, the UI is a bit unresponsive sometimes. Like, you can't see this, but I actually thought I had these. I was trying to right click and it wasn't doing it. I don't know if it's just because I was right clicking on the wrong place and I had the wrong guy selected, but it didn't tell me that I was making a mistake. Sometimes you want a bit of feedback like that. All in all, though, not a bad UI. It looks okay as well. I actually think that the map looks okay. I can deal with this. It's just the characters I'm not that keen on. I wish they'd put a little bit more effort into making them look a little bit more. I guess it's because they're animated. They're probably a small studio. Okay, this is going to be my last turn this game. Sorry, this episode. I think we probably want to get some tribute, but I'm also I am keen to get. Yeah, I don't know whether that's going to help us in a big way. Maybe what we do is we transfer this Praetor over. Going to give him 3 Infernal and another melee. Okay, and then we're going to win the game. End the turn. Guys, I'm going to end the episode there anyway. Wow, it's an hour long. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think of Solium Infernum. I think this game's right up my alley. I don't know how. The question I think for this one, for most people, will be, and I've seen a few people ask this: what value will this game have if you only play single player? I think it depends on how good the game AI is. If the game AI is pretty good, and it already it offers you to do things like, to work together. I think that's really, really cool, right? Messages. Can you send the AI messages? Like, if you could send the AI messages saying, "Hey, attack this person," and then they respond, that would be really, really damn good. Like, I don't know if you can. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe it's just the AI talks to you occasionally, but we know that it does it because we've just seen it, right? But I think anyway, the strength of the game in single player will depend entirely on how good the AI is. If the AI is good, then I think that this could be a really good, fun single player game. But it is designed. I think this game was mostly designed for multiplayer because of the way the diplomacy works. So for those of you who like diving into multiplayer games, and it's not going to be that you like. This is not like Dominions where you can potentially be playing for 6 months, or longer if it's a big game. Or I think this is going to be a game where, if you're playing on a short map particularly, it's probably going to be over in a couple of weeks. I'd have thought if you play, or maybe at most like 6 weeks, because you're going to be, doing a turn a day or something like that. So I think if you're a multiplayer player, this is a bit of a no-brainer. This game, I think this is going to be one of the best diplomatic multiplayer games that you can play, because the mechanics is built around working together and betraying one another. That's basically it. There can only be one winner, so you will, just like in Dominions, you're going to be working together but only temporarily. Okay, so there's going to be like epic backbiting, epic backstabbing, and dogpiling and all sorts of stuff going on in the game in order to win. And there's so many ways to approach the victory. As you can see, some players aren't even bothering to, they're not expanding, they don't need to. They're playing in a different way. Like, they're building themselves up to be powerful in other ways. And as you can see, they're actually, some of these guys are actually doing really well. I think I've probably got more prestige because I've been a bit more active. But yeah, you don't know what it is that they're planning. One of them might have that crown where they're hoping someone else wins. You see what I mean? So you've got to be really, really careful in this game. It's really, really tricksy. Anyway, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.